last night something amazing happened. I heard this huge animal.
Changing my way, I'm leaving today while things are okay, and I'm sailing away.
Hey! So I'm back in Sweden, and I'm heading out on my first ever solo experience.
Watching the tide of pressure in life, and I'm learning to fly on the surface of time.
It's early September, it's the shoulder season. The days are already getting shorter. I'm super excited.
Just let me hold you.
I started a new job around 4 months ago. It's been a hectic time, so I decided I really wanted to enjoy one more week in Sweden in nature. I am paddling in a what I would call tourist graded aluminum canoe. It's super heavy, I think around 30 kilo. Actually, this reminds me of the first canoe tours I did with my friend Rick years ago. So it's a ugly, heavy canoe, but I've packed quite lightly. Oh, that's good. So I'm gonna start the tour with the biggest lake, and it's quite some paddling in the southern direction, where we're gonna get off and head into the national park. You know, the air is so good here. I can breathe really deeply. It's the fresh smell of water and pine forest. Looking for a camp, looking for a camp. That looks too good to pass up. Let's check it out. So it's about 6:30, 6:45, and I think I've done a lot of distance. I'm going to check the map, but I feel it now. You know, when I was younger, I don't think I would have done this, going out here alone. I really like this feeling of self-reliance, that you know you can be comfortable with yourself, trust yourself, and enjoy. Day 2, off we go. So last night something amazing happened. I was in my tent, it was around 10 o'clock, and I was reading, and all of a sudden, right at my island's water side, I heard this huge animal. Splashing through the water and shaking its water off of itself. and I'm absolutely certain it was a moose. And I don't know if it was there because they go out at night, you know, they eat a lot of water plants. It freaked me out a little bit for a moment. Yeah, and then I heard it slowly disappear. Wild experience. This is the part of canoe tours that I absolutely hate. Just met a few fellow paddlers, 3 Germans. This thing is taking it out of me. When I was 30, I would ram these things like full throttle, but over the years I learned to just take your foot off the pedal just a little bit, take a few more breaks, and you actually end up with more energy in the tank left. It might be symbolic for getting older, you know? You learn more best practices, and you also know much better how to get the maximum performance out of yourself. Can't believe it. I had to carry everything, but I'm finally at the lake where I wanted to go. Call this home. First things first. Oh. Woohoo! It's my second day and I'm getting in the flow. In silence, I see a lot more, hear a lot more, and feel a lot more. It's not me against nature, nor nature against me. There is a natural spot for me here, and I can live alongside the moose, the fox, and the birds. I got up before sunrise today. It rained pretty much all through the night. Actually had a good night's sleep. I am stiff as a dog though, from, I don't know, lying on the ground. So I'm gonna need to do some stretching. Oh, that's good. Today I'm going to enjoy the spot. This beautiful island. It's time to read. So I just wrapped everything up and just got my tent in time because it's starting to rain. Okay. You know, I've read a few books actually on Sigmund Freud, and in his book Totem and Taboo, Freud actually says that the fear we experience for the unknown around us is a projection. And the more aggression or hate or frustration or anger you carry on a deeper unconscious level, the more likely you will be in a situation like this to experience all kinds of fears for stuff in the outer world. I think there's a truth in it. Yeah, I don't buy his marry your mother and kill your father stuff, but the man had some interesting points. Well, let's check some islands out. Perfect place. Finish my trip. I finished this first solo experience. I have to say I'm glad I did it. So you don't have the social interaction and the fun and the bonding, but you do have that extra layer of real silence. And in that silence, for me at least, in the first day, was a bit of discomfort. Being alone in the nature. What if you run into a bear, you know, that type of stuff? What if you break a leg and nobody hears you? And once you settle into that, once I settled into that, it became relaxing. So when you go to Stora Gla, you will notice that there are these island formations that are like these long, thin lines of rock, and they're all pointing in the same direction. It's the result of the last ice age. So there was an ice cap on Sweden of several kilometers thick, which I always find mind-boggling. That ice, as that ice sheet was moving in one direction, the debris on the bottom of it was scraping across the surface, leaving these marks that I can still see here today as a canoeer. And Stora Gla is really one of the lakes where it's most visible. And I find it absolutely fascinating. Right, the food is stewing, the broccoli is almost cooking, and I am hungry. The weather is changing. It's getting more cloudy, and the breeze is making it colder. Now you can feel that fall is coming. So I'm slowly starting to pack up here. It's dry this morning and there's a good breeze, so my tent's dry, which is always an advantage on your last night because I can pack it now without needing to unpack it back home to dry it out. You know, the solo trip has been quite liberating on many aspects. I thought maybe I would feel lonely from time to time, but I didn't really. I felt a little bit bored every now and then, but I think that's good. I mean, if you go online, you will find all kinds of doctors and specialists explaining how in these times with mobile devices, we never really allow boredom in anymore. But it is actually a good mechanism to relax, but also trigger creativity of the brain. Because out here, if you're bored, you find something to do, which is pretty much like when you were a child, right? I mean, I remember as a child, I could have this intense boredom sometimes, where you're just lying on a couch upside down, not knowing what to do, and then you find something to do, either alone or with a friend. So the paradox, I think, is that boredom in the end is also very activating. Oh, that's interesting. Man, I should put that in a book.
Changing my way, I'm leaving today while things are okay, and I'm sailing away. Watching the tide of pressure in life, and I'm learning to fly on the surface of time.